Well, in case you missed, my brand, Taikonaut, has a new release. We released three t shirts with tropical fruits that are very familiar and dear to our hearts as Mozambicans. So, with that, I thought that this would be a perfect opportunity to actually make a video about my brand. Hello, everyone. My name is Delson Shao, Shaoson, Tio, Del, many variations there. Choose the one you see fit. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you made your bed. Well, if it's your first time here, welcome. If it's your second time here, if you've been here before, welcome back. I am very happy to see you. And today you will learn about Taikonaut, my brand, through three of my favorite designs. Now, it would be a good idea if I came in here and explained what Taikonaut is, how the brand emerged, why I created it, what it means, but there's already enough material out there about that. Eu lembro-me, até hoje tenho o papel em que eu fiz o logotipo da Taikonaut, como vocês podem ver aqui.
Então, tipo, para ti, qual é a mensagem que tu transmites ou o que tu tentas trazer com a Taikonaut?
Eu recentemente comecei este caminho da identidade da minha marca, que é. So, I thought it would be a great idea to just walk you through some of the pieces so you can understand what my brand is about. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. With that being said, let's just jump right into it. Now, the first thing everyone should know about Taikonaut is that it is a Mozambican brand. And here we have an example of how I try to communicate that. Now, I already really like the colors of the Mozambican flag. And for some time, I had been trying to incorporate them into a design. I ran a couple of tests, did a couple of experiences, and this, I would say, is the most satisfactory result and something that does speak to me personally as well. Now, big part of my design process, I would say, is actually what I learned when I was in design class at Abbott's College, in my matric year, my very last year there. And, I was actually the worst design student while I was there, but that doesn't matter right now. And while I was in design class, I fell in love with Mondrian paintings, right? And even if you look at our first collection or our first releases, Taikonaut, the hoodies, the yellow, the blue, and the red, those primary colors, I actually kind of took it from there. I mean, that was still in my mind. And right here, I wanted to bring that inspiration, that Mondrian inspiration, in a different way. I wanted to incorporate it in a different way. So this is actually what happened. So mixing Mondrian with Mozambique, that became Mozdrian. And yeah, this is what we have. Fun fact, actually, this wasn't supposed to be the logo. I actually did something else for the logo, but then when I spoke to Hamilton, who was the model for the campaign, he looked at the logo, and the first thing he told me was, "This is wrong." Like, imagine, I'm meeting him for the first time. He looks at what I had here instead of this logo. He was like, "This is wrong. You have to change this immediately." I'm like, "What?" I'm with my friend Kitushi, and it's like we're like starstruck. We don't know what to say. It's like, this man, I just showed him my work, and the first thing he tells me is that it's wrong. But then I decided to, sit down, listen to him, listen to his experience, what he had to say. And then I actually showed him my logo, and he was like, "You know what? Go with that. Go with that." So this logo on the Mozdrian sweater almost didn't happen because I wanted to be childish and stubborn. But I'm so glad we had that conversation, and that is one of my absolute favorite photo shoots because Hamilton is very wise. He's very friendly. He throughout that day he was sharing a lot with us, and it was great for me as well to like get to style him and everything because a big part of that shoot was imagining myself at an older age, and I would kind of like to look like him and do what he's doing in a way. So yeah. So yeah, that's the Mondrian sweater for you guys. And I also wish I could like have a painting, right? This is inspired by a painting, but I also wish I could have the actual painting. That would actually be very fire. Before I start talking about this piece, I just want to address the fact that me personally, I don't really watch soccer. I think it's an incredible sport, reason why it's one of the, if not the most watched sport in the world. I do think Benfica is an amazing team, but I'm not really a fan, and this isn't what this piece is about. Even though I do know that most of the people who tend to gravitate towards this piece are Benfica fans, and I'm very happy for that. I just really want to say that this piece is about the actual man, the centerpiece of this shirt right here, and that is obviously Eusebio, who is a very legendary man in my eyes, and that is why I call this the legendary shirt. Now, the reason why I made this piece is because I look at it as inspiration. I look at this man as inspiration. When you think about it, Eusebio is a man who left Mozambique, came to Portugal, chased his dreams, and ended up becoming one of the most celebrated men, one of the most celebrated sportsmen in the history of, I would say, Portuguese and worldwide football or soccer or whatever you want to call it, right? And myself, a guy who left Mozambique, came out here to Portugal, is chasing his dreams. I would like to one day become the Eusebio of something. The Eusebio of acting, the Eusebio of fashion, maybe even the Eusebio of YouTube. So this piece right here represents that. It's inspiration. It's very personal. As you guys can see it, you know, the Mondrian sweater is personal. This one is also personal. But I think that there are also people out there who can relate to the same story. So that's pretty much it. I really love this piece. One of my favorite pieces, definitely. I like how soft it is. I like how, you know, how it feels on the skin. I really like the tag, how we did the tag right there. I also like to try different tag designs and get creative with them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Well, I decided to save the absolute best for last. If you've been following us, you already know what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, the map jacket. Now, I could argue that this piece is actually what started Taikonaut, right? Taikonaut started in 2017, but this piece, if I'm not mistaken, released for the very first time 2021 or 2022. And that was because before that, I was pretty much dropping t-shirts, hoodies with my logo, but there was really nothing other than my logo that people could identify with my brand. And I really wanted people to understand that Taikonaut was coming from a Mozambican mind, right? But without doing the, I would say, traditional thing, the traditional Mozambican or even African fashion. So I thought here, how could I kind of carve a different path from what I've already been seeing, but at the same time that is like nothing new or groundbreaking, right? But something that I could actually communicate in what I am and what I've learned and what I've seen in other brands that I like. Now, one thing that I pay very close attention to when I travel is metros, the metro routes. I actually do collect a couple of metro cards, and I just really like the patterns that everything creates, like when you see the routes and everything. And I thought to myself, you know what? Actually, this would be really cool on a piece, like a shirt or a jacket or shorts or something like that. But I thought to myself, we don't have a metro in Maputo. And I thought to myself, all right, but make the Maputo map. But then I was like, before I go Maputo, let me go Mozambique. So I just looked at the Mozambican map, took it to Photoshop, put it on a design, which was a Coach jacket, and I immediately fell in love with it. The next day, I spoke to a manufacturer, got it made, and I said, you know what? I think we got something here. And I absolutely fell in love with this piece. It is one of the most demanded pieces. Damn near every day I have someone asking me when we're going to drop the map jackets again. And I think it's actually a great opportunity to tell you guys that the map jackets will be coming back very soon this year. So be ready, be ready, be ready. Don't miss it, because then you're gonna miss it and you're gonna be like, oh, when are they coming back again? You know what I'm saying? I want to drop other stuff, but that's it. I'm not gonna talk too much about this. I think it's a piece that speaks for itself just when you look at it. I made a day version and I made a night version because also thinking about, you know, this idea comes from Google Maps or Apple Maps or, you know, just any maps app. When you look at it during the day, it kind of looks like this, right? And when you look at it during the night, it looks dark. So I thought it would be a good idea to have two variations, right? This kind of happened because I just wanted to see. I actually wasn't supposed to even make the dark one, but when I made it and I would wear it, people would actually compliment me way more on this one rather than on the day one. And people do say that it's easier to wear the darker one because it's less flashy, right? So that's the map jacket for you guys. Well, so that's it. I hope that you guys were able to understand how I am very passionate about pop culture, storytelling, and also getting to introduce people to my culture and my country through fashion, through clothes, through streetwear, if you want to call it. I just want to tell you guys that we do have a website now, taikonautmaputo.com. taikonautmaputo.com. I also spoke to you guys, I think on the first video, that I was going to actually change the Instagram username, which is now Taikonaut Maputo instead of Taikonaut by Mr. Chow. The t-shirts are up now. The Masanika t-shirt, the Mafura t-shirt, the Tentiva t-shirt, they're up for grabs right now. Go ahead and get yours. All right. And yeah, before I leave, guys, I just want to remind you all, it's June. It's June. It's Men's Mental Awareness Month. So I cannot leave without telling you guys, you know what I'm saying? I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are healthy. I hope you guys are, you know, mentally stable, or at least trying to get there. Let me just tell you something, guys. Talk to your friends, hug your friends, check on them, see how they're doing. You know what I'm saying? It makes the world better. It makes us better. And this world, this shared experience that we having, you know what I'm saying? It can be very hard sometimes. And I believe that we can make it easier for each other. All right. So that's pretty much it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for staying there. My name is Stelson Shao. I hope you got to learn something about my brand today. And I will see you